Welcome back to the Jacked Racing YouTube channel. As you can see, things look a lot different in here now. We got our magical delivery from Santa, aka Dad, and we have a bunch of tools now. We've got some welders that I don't yet know how to use, so that will be something new to learn. An air compressor. Got a toolbox set up that's now fully stocked with tools, so we can actually work on things kind of like a normal person would. We just went to Harbor Freight and loaded up on all the good cheap stuff. Got everything over here a little more organized. We got the jack, my safety equipment's back. So now that we have real tools, we can actually get to work. So we came in here, tried to see what we could do about these old seat mounts, and once we put the seat in to test fit it, it did not line up with the holes, and if it was going to line up, it was not going to sit right at all. So we're going to have to cut this piece out. We're going to have to weld something in down here to bolt it to the bottom, and we're going to have to drill some more holes to bolt it through that big steel plate in the floor too. We also looked at this battery to see why the car's not been starting. We tried to start it again and it just clicked. We hooked the battery charger up to it and it started. So this battery is dead. So we'll get rid of that. We'll put a new battery in. Once we put a new battery in, hopefully it will start on its own reliably and not be a problem anymore. So I've got this big fancy whiteboard here and I already filled it with a big to-do list. So we got to mount the seat. There's some rust underneath the car that needs fixed. We got to check the camber and the springs because it's definitely not legal right now. We got to finish checking the battery. Let's just buy a new battery because that one is toast. We got to finish mounting the belts. We got to weld that steering shaft. We got to order some numbers. We got to change the oil. Check all the other fluids. I have to install some trunk pins because that is on the rule book and we have none. We got to find a small little water leak. That shouldn't be too hard. Hopefully it's just a little hose or something. Side windows, I've got some Lexan I want to cut new windows from. Got to secure the rear bumper because it's a little crooked and a little floppy. Got to hook up those gauges in there. Check the firewall for holes. That's just for safety. Check the air filter to make sure it's clean. Got to check the spark plugs to make sure they're clean. I already lubed up the steering wheel hub so I can cross that off to the list. We've almost got the seat in. I've got 2 bolts here in the back, 4 on the floor, so it's got 6 points of contact with bolts in it. But unfortunately, getting to one of them under the car is not going well. So you have to get a little creative. We duct taped 2 wrenches together, tape the nut onto the top, and I'm gonna have to go down here and feed it underneath the car to hook it to the metal we're gonna fix it to. Here's the finished product. Got the seat all bolted in, the cover on, got the leg guards on, and we got all the belts mounted. I probably need to do a little bit of adjusting left on the belts to make them fit right. But this turned out really well. This is going to be a nice, safe setup. I know it's just a 4-cylinder car, but this is really not something to play with when it comes to safety, so going a little overboard is fine. While we were taking all the tires on and off, we did notice that the springs in the car were not legal at all. So, here we go. Next project right here is going to be putting stock springs back in the car. These were the kind of springs in the car, and these are the springs that need to go back in the car. So, you can tell, pretty big difference. Very easy to catch, and I'm not out here to try and cheat to win, so I luckily found a guy just down the road from me that had lowered his car and had a stock set of springs in his garage. So I was able to go pick those up. Got some spring compressors here. Hate to tear into a car that looks like it's ready to go to the track, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So here's the next project, taking the springs out. This big to-do list that used to look big and scary is now not so big and scary. All I've got to do now is put the new springs in, get the cambers set right. I ordered new numbers, so hopefully they'll show up soon and I can put them on. I do need to check for some leaks. It looks like there might be a power steering fluid leak now. Maybe brake fluid. I'm not 100% sure. I've got to get under there and look. Side windows are not super important to get to the track. That's just kind of a cosmetic thing I'll eventually get around to doing. The bumper is good enough. I just kind of want to put a little more reinforcement on it. There might be a small hole in the firewall I need to fix, but that's not anything too concerning. I've got to put a radiator overflow bottle on. That's just this little hose right here. That'll take 5 minutes. Other than that, we're getting pretty close. Once I get the suspension in, it should be almost ready to go. I've still got to hook the gauges up too. That might take a little more time to figure out how those work, but not the end of the world. So we're getting there. It's almost time to take it to the track. Just one more big job and we'll be there. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.